Slice Labs empowers insurers to provide customized, on-demand, pay-as-you-go insurance products to their customers, without having to invest in infrastructure. The Slice Insurance Cloud Services platform is powered by machine learning and advanced big data technologies, along with behavioral science expertise. This platform enabled AXA XL to launch the world's first on-demand cyber insurance product and reach an entirely new customer segment. Next on stage, Slice.
Good afternoon. I realize I'm standing between us and lunch, so please pay attention with me for the next 8 minutes. I'm Philippe Lafreniere from Slice. I'm the Chief Growth Officer. And this is David Gladwin from our London office. And we're pleased to be here and back at DIA. Slice has been recognized as a leader in providing on-demand insurance for the on-demand economy. And it was great yesterday to hear and see from McKinsey a report that talked about emerging risks, including what the sharing economy, as well as cyber, means to our business. We're headquartered in New York, and we've got operations for Europe in the UK. And we also have projects going on right now in Canada, in the US, in Southeast Asia, and in the UK. We recently announced the closing of a round of financing, which is enabling us to partner with insurers globally with our platform, ICS. And also, 2 weeks ago, we celebrated our 3rd birthday. So it's been an exciting time at Slice. We heard about customer experience, and we heard about the analogy of Netflix. We heard about the analogy of Spotify, and we believe that we bring this to insurance. Earlier this year, we announced the launch of ICS, Insurance Cloud Services. It's a platform that we partner with insurers to deliver. We're now partnering and licensing this platform globally. And what it does is it essentially allows you to basically deploy a digital insurer as a service in as little as 8 weeks. So we recently have done this with a brand Duo in Canada, and you can read that press. Slice ICS closes the gap the industry has in terms of providing true digital products that are tailored to these new emerging risks, as well as migrating standard products, so maybe more standard products like motor or home, to become true digital products. So what does it mean to have a true digital product? Our definition of a fully digital product is a product that includes the following guidelines. It needs to be free of an application form. Today, there is so much data that's available that we can tap into, and our signals and event processors have access to that data. We'll show you some of that today. It needs to be available on demand. On demand means that I should be able to turn it on and off when I need. Gone are the days of an annual policy with complex processing during that year. And it needs to have those capabilities, again, like we're used to with our Netflix or Spotify subscriptions. We believe that the future of insurance is also one where insurance is going to be embedded as part of another experience. And as a result of that, the products have to be simplified to become part of that broader experience. So today, while we interact with all of our policyholders on ICS, we actually have only spoken to less than 5% of our customer base. All interactions are done digitally. So October is Cyber Security Awareness Month, and so quite excited to share with you some of the things that we've done about cybersecurity and how we help SMEs deal with cybersecurity. Over the next few minutes, I'll be demonstrating to you how easy, based on the concept that I've explained, the concept of on-demand, how easy we have made it for SMEs to purchase a cyber policy, but also to understand the cyber policy that they have purchased. A typical cyber policy has up to 12 insuring agreements with complex definitions, complex clauses, a lot of limits, a lot of sublimits. That is not very helpful to an SME. So we'll show you how we have done this. So let's have a look. So what you're seeing here is the Slice Cyber Protection Dashboard. Before I get into the dashboard, and we've all seen lots of dashboards, let me speak to you about a few pieces of data. There's a recent survey that basically talked about how 90% of SMEs are not protected against cyber. The cyber threat is expected to reach $6 trillion within a few years. 61% of cyber attacks in 2017 were against SMEs. and 60% of SMEs fail after a cyber breach. So the cost of a data breach, the average cost of a data breach is about $148,000, which can take an SME out of business. So we have launched a cyber product. I'll speak a little bit about that cyber product. But the main thing that we want to help the SME with this cyber protection is really how to monitor their security threats and really how to continuously be aware of where they stand and what they can do to be protected. So of course they have the insurance, but let's look at, for example, our business here. Our business here is called Lean Dog, and then Lean Dog has a cyber score of 2. So by looking at the major dashboard, I basically see what is this criteria. So I have some tips that help me understand what that score means. And then there are 5 different levels of protection that we constantly monitor. So on the Slice platform, our signals processor, our event processor is constantly monitoring the parts of your business that put you at risk. So as an example, if we look at our email security, that seems to be right. But I can also get tips around what does this mean, what does my score mean, and what can I do to improve this score. Now, if we look at my external network footprint as an example, that's in the red, that's not so good. I might have some precautions that I need to take. Again, what can I do to improve this score? So the Slice policy is a subscription-based policy. So if you look at here, what we're showing you is that, from October 18th today, my policy is on, I've paid for it, I'm subscribed until the end of the month, and then it's an on-demand policy that if I process a payment or if I make a payment, it will continue to cover me for the next period of time. So we're looking at, in this case, a monthly subscription-based policy. I also mentioned that the coverages are easy to understand. So let's look at the cyber policy. So at Slice, we've got our own chief underwriting officer, and we work with our partner carriers to define simple to understand policy forms. Again, if the experience is going to be 100% digital, it needs to be easy to understand. So if we look at our coverages, for example, I can look at any of these coverages. So let's look at cyber extortion threat. What does it mean? What am I protected against on my policy? GDPR protection, so basically we'll cover the regulatory fines and expenses, including GDPR compliance. So all of these coverages are coverages that we've defined on our form that basically help you easily understand what your policy is and then the limits associated with that policy. So we also I mentioned a little bit the onboarding. So what does it take to start a policy with Slice? So if we look briefly, we ask for a few simple questions to get started. We believe that an application is not required. So by entering a few pieces of data, as an example, we'll be able to provide a quote for our business. So we go out and we look for external data. We can tap into external data sources that we consume, and then we're going to make it easy for the SME to launch to basically purchase their cyber policy. And one of the things that you will see is effectively that we have priced also the policy to be easy to consume. So this is a policy that's tailored for the SME in which they can get a price very quickly by entering just a few pieces of information and essentially come back with a policy for $20 a month. So easy to use, easy to understand, on-demand insurance. We're Slice. Thank you for listening to us. We'll be there in our booth, and we'd be glad to talk to you about cyber policy.